Napeague Harbor. I'm gonna try and describe some of the stuff in my neighborhood down here. Right on the water, in the flood zone. We're New York State, and doing some of their studies has basically said that nobody should live here anymore, so it's kind of a tough situation. All these homes here, they were built a long time ago, going back to the 50s, so 2016 now. Most of these homes have been here over 50 years. People didn't really know too much about, sea level rise 50 years ago. They never really considered it. The oldest continuing measurement of sea level in New York State is at the Brooklyn Bridge. They've been doing a study. They've been measuring the sea level rather for the last 100 years, and it's stayed at a steady rate of almost an inch of rise every decade or so. So about 10 to 11 inches of rise in the last century. Except here we're at an average elevation above sea level of around 3 to 4 feet, maybe a meter. Some properties a little bit higher than a meter. This is a park here. This used to be campgrounds back in the 30s, 40s, and in the 50s they turned it into a mobile home park. And then all these little houses along the beach here. You're gonna see one that's a new house, and I'll show you a good example of what you have to do in order to build in a flood zone. Couple major issues. One is septic. Here by the water, it's very environmentally sensitive. So what they do is they build these big concrete retaining walls, and they place the septic system within that retaining wall. So it's raised up quite a bit. The elevation of the house, what is a concrete first floor and a garage below the house, is because you have to raise your house 12 feet above sea level to meet the building code. So I'm guessing that that's about 12 feet above sea level. Looks to be about right. So that's what you have to do if you're going to build here. You can see all the existing homes are much lower. They're not raised up that high. They didn't have any of those code requirements back then. It's not really a restricted area for tern nesting. Someone just stole that sign off the beach and put it by their house. There's a sailboat that hasn't moved in a long time. This is a launching ramp at the end of a little private road here. It's only for small boats. The launching ramp hasn't been maintained. This concrete was all poured many years ago. I don't know if there's a date somewhere in here. Here. Maybe. No. No. Not a date. Looks like someone's name. That's what I'm looking at. Looks like someone's name. I don't see a date. Unless it's 71. Can't really tell. And then here's, I guess this was a little bit newer. Here's some more writing in the concrete. But again, I don't see a date there. And there's the water. So we are looking at Napeague Harbor over here. And then this is a creek that goes into another body of water called Pond of Pines. Napeague Harbor goes out into Gardiner's Bay. Gardiner's Bay then goes out to the Atlantic Ocean. So there's several tributaries, and Napeague Harbor and Pond of Pines in particular is like a very important nursery for young fish, etc. Except there's a lot of man-made interruption with it. This creek, it's hard to see. I have some good drone footage of it where basically someone cut a big channel in it, straightened it out, and then there's a property over here where someone dug out an artificial pond on their property and then never really used it. They were supposed to use it for like a shellfish hatchery. They were gonna grow some clams or something. Never really panned out. You can go back to old historical aerial footage, aerial photos, and you can see some old buildings that were there. The only thing that's left is a little cottage that no one's lived in as long as I've been here. So that's over 20 years. I can never remember anybody actually living in it. This is the man-made pond, this whole body of water right here. They excavated, dredged it, and then never really did anything with it. So it's kind of shellfish hatchery or the shellfish that they were trying to grow, some old equipment.